All right, one more game that I want to show you, and this is something we used to teach your dog to. It's a way to put sniffing on cue. And one thing that sniffing does is it switches your dog from visual scanning, being really vigilant about the environment, maybe just being able to witness something you don't want them to see. And it also switches the brain. Sniffing engages a part of the system or a part of the brain that is related to optimism and seeking versus pessimism and anticipating some negative event. So not only does it change your dog from visual and looking and witnessing something or just being vigilant, it also changes the brain state. So a dog that's seeking something, sniffing out food, smelling in the tall grass is a dog that's it's an ideal brain state, and it's something that if you can choose to put your dog there, we want to be able to harness that. So this is super cool. So the way to start with this game is you're going to have your dog next to you, and you're probably going to want to think about using an environment that's your dog can't be super visual and see the food, but you also don't want to make it too hard. So you might want to use really smelly food if you're going to be in the grass, or you might want to use a surface that's it's colored in a way that the food won't show up, but you actually want your dog to not be just looking, and she's super visual, just looking for the food. You actually want to, this cue means use your nose. So ignore where we're at, pretend that we are in the grass. Okay. And you're gonna just have your dog, I'm just gonna put my arm in front of her. You could have a hold of the collar, unless that means something else and you want that to be very specific, that collar grab cue. So that's why I do this, because my harness grab is really specific. So you're going to make sure your dog knows you have food in your hand. You're going to pop it into the grass, and it's smelly food, and then you're gonna say, find it, and then let go. So repeat that a bunch of times until your dog knows that that cue means there's something great and I have to use my nose and find it. So at this point, I take my dogs out in the yard, and in the grass, I can and I give them a visual cue like that, and I say that word, and they put their heads down and start using their noses, and then I start dropping food. So I try to, as I play with this game, or I play with that cue, I try to make sure they're not using their eyes to find the food, and they don't get to do that. So they don't see me dropping the food, I get their noses down, and then I drop the food. We're at a pretty advanced stage. So building this game, find it, and again, pretend we're in a more difficult environment so she can't be visual. So that's just a nice, it's a great thing to have in your toolkit, to be able to put sniffing on cue, to be able to ask your dog to, check out this patch of grass and see what's in there, and then throw some food down, whether it's in a difficult environment or you just want to give them kind of a reward. And you can use that. You can actually use that to give your dog a release to sniffing something, sniffing an area that they want to anyway. So pretty cool game. Practice that one, and yeah, have fun with it.